What's good, y'all, and welcome to my review for the Marvels. Yes, finally saw it. Right at the tail end of its theatrical run, too, because you guys know my birthday is tomorrow, actually. Don't know if I'll be, doing a stream or anything for it. I might not, I don't know. It falls on a Wednesday, which is when I got the comic reaction, so I might not do it, that year, but it all depends how I'm feeling. But regardless of man, so, my mom's like, money's been pretty tight lately, because, of course, college is fucking expensive, so, as you guys probably know, so I haven't been able to go to the movie theater that often this year. Due to that, along with the fact that, I've still got to put my brother through one more year of college, and then he's finally done. Then we're done with college fully, thank God. But, yeah, she has to say, okay, can't spend much. I was like, all right, cool, just take me to see the Marvels, and we're golden. So, yeah, that's why we're here. I checked to see if there was anything going on Saturday. The movie theaters might check. The movie stopped playing at, the 27th or the 28th. Yeah, the 28th or on the 30th or something. It was pretty close. It wasn't to the weekend, so I figured I don't know if that means they just have an update there or that means that the Marvels is done with its theatrical run on the 28th or whatever, on the 30th, whatever it was. It was like a Thursday or something. So I was like, I figure I'll watch it now. So I did, and I gotta say, man, this movie's fantastic. You guys know I've had quite the history with Captain Marvel, the first movie. At first, I feel like, oh, this movie's fantastic, this, that, and the third. And then you guys know I started reading Kelly Sue DeConnick's, not Kelly Sue DeConnick's, Kelly Thompson. I keep getting the names confused. They both start with Kelly. Kelly Thompson's run, started doing issue reactions for that. Then eventually I went back and read some of Kelly Sue DeConnick's original comic run. And then you guys know I started to slowly kind of sour on the movie, I guess, lose favor with it. I didn't like it as much upon rewatches. And, eventually, of course, you guys know I made that massive 40-minute long video about it. Oh, here's why the movie didn't work, and what it did wrong, what it should have done with the comics, and this, that, and the third. Had that whole video, man. So, I have quite the history of the movie, and then, of course, when this movie got announced and everything, the release materials, the trailers and everything, the promotional material, excuse me, I was kind of worried, oh, please, just be better than the first one. Be better than the first one. Give us this, please give us just Comic Carol. That's all I want. The trailers looked like they were finally doing it. Carol was finally allowed to have emotions again. Rejoice. And so, I was worried, and then eventually I finally got around to see the movie, man, because I wanted to make sure because you might be wondering, because I know some of you guys I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but I'm sure some of you were like, why didn't you go see Napoleon instead, bro? You guys know, I missed Guardians when that was in theaters. I missed Quantum in the theater, and I wasn't about to three-peat with the MCU, man. You guys know me, I'm a Marvel fan first, so I had to make sure I saw this movie in theaters, because I wanted to make sure I at least saw one of the MCU movies that came out this year in the theater, not have to wait for it to come out on Disney Plus, which of course will then delay the top 10 video until, I don't know, March or whenever this movie comes out on Disney Plus. So I was like, yeah, so that's why I wanted to watch. So that's why I went with the Marvel instead. Good thing I did too. Plus, I already know that when a Napoleon comes out to Apple TV Plus, it's gonna have come with a 4-hour extended cut. So I'd rather just watch that instead. Yeah. But anyway, I'm sorry I've been all over the place, man. Yeah, this movie, I was having my reservations. I was hoping that we get to see Comic Carol for the first time finally in the MCU, which we did deliver on that front. And yeah, man, this was a fantastic movie, man. And that post-credit scene, or rather, I should say mid-credit scene, there was an actual post-credit scene. I don't know if they're moving away from those now, because I've noticed that's been kind of a thing recently with MCU products, where either they don't have post-credit scenes for the Disney Plus shows, or they only do a mid-credit scene. So it definitely makes you wonder if they're starting to move away from doing 2 post-credit scenes, or then just do the one, or if this has just been a fluke with just these particular projects. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. But yeah, man. Anyway, sorry I've been rambling all over the place. This movie was fucking fantastic, man. And yeah, as a Captain Marvel fan, as a true Captain Marvel fan that actually reads her comics, loves her comics, and has always said that they're better than a lot of people give them credit for. Especially Kelly Sue DeConnick's runs were both great. At least her first one, I haven't gotten read much of her second run. She had 2014. Kelly Thompson's run was fantastic, man. You guys know I was reacting to that one as it was publishing, and I always had a great time with that book. And I've been starting reading her new book, which has actually been pretty good. I've been taking her new book as well. So yeah. As for real Captain Marvel fans out there that were just playing the first movie, definitely go check this movie out if you haven't already, because it actually gives you what you want, which is Comic Carol. So that's nice. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Enough jibber jab. Let's get into the actual movie itself. So the movie is directed by Nia DaCosta, if I'm pronouncing that right, who you guys know directed the Candyman remake that came out a couple years ago, and of course stars Brie Larson, Iman Vellani, if I'm pronouncing her name right, Zawad Ashton, if I said that right. Jesus Christ, why y'all got such hard names to pronounce? Tiona Paris? Did I say that right? I probably butchered that as well. And many more. And the plot is Carol Danvers gets her powers entangled with those of Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau, forcing them to work together to save the universe. Now, first of all, the cast is great. Now, you guys know me. I have mentioned this since day one for Captain Marvel. Brie Larson was never the problem. It was with the first one. And I mentioned that in that 40-minute video I made. She was the one that was carrying the movie, you know, and why I ended up enjoying it as much as I did even upon rewatch. Man, she was always the best pick for Carol Danvers. She was never the problem. It was everything else that was the problem. Anyway, she was never the problem. She was always great. And once again, now that she's actually allowed to, you know, emote, you know, actually have emotions, and, you know, rather than being just like, you know, a blank, just like a plank of wood, and is actually allowed to emote, have emotions, and, you know, actually make jokes, and, you know, actually act like Carol Danvers in the comics. She flourished. Like I said, I knew this when I saw this Endgame, man. She was amazing. She had more charisma in that one scene with Peter in Endgame than she had in the entirety of her original film. And that once again transforms here, man. She is amazing here, man. She is Carol Danvers. I've said since day one, she was never the problem with that movie, man. She was never the problem. And once in this movie proves it, man, because she is fantastic as Carol Danvers in this movie, man. And it was just good to see her actually, you know, emote for once, and actually see her actually be Carol Danvers for real this time. Like, this is what the first one should have been. This is Comic Carol finally making her live action debut, if you ask me, man. Iman Velnani, if I'm saying her name right, you guys know play Kamala. She's amazing. Like, bro, her enthusiasm and, like, fanboyism for, like, the Marvel Universe, everything is infectious, man. Like, she is arguably the heart and soul of the film, man. And she is amazing, man. I loved her. She was always a highlight, man. She's like, oh my god, it's Carol Danvers. Hi, I'm Kamala. Like, she's, like, I mentioned this, I'm pretty sure I mentioned this in my review for season 1 of her show, that I thought she was great, man. She was kind of the best part, man. And like I said, her just enthusiasm is just infectious, man. And once again, her mom is amazing, bro. Like, her mom was amazing in her show, man, but once again, she's amazing here, man. Her whole family is honestly great, man. I love all three of them, man. But her mom is definitely the highlight for me, man. She's awesome, man. I always love her interactions with Kamal. And now she's interacting with, like, you know, Carol and Monica. Great shit, man. And of course, Nick Fury as well. Fiona Paris, like I said, I'm butchering her name, who you guys know plays Monica. She was great as well. And yeah, man, like, I don't really have much to say because I don't really have much experience with Monica Rambeau. I didn't read any of her comics when she was Captain Marvel. She didn't make that many appearances in Kelly Thompson's book, so I don't really got much to say her. But overall, I thought she was great. WandaVision, that once again is the same here. She's great as Monica Rambeau. The rest of the cast was great as well. And Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson is always a pleasure to see, man. He's great as well as Nick Fury. Doesn't really do much in the movie, man, but it was always great to see him, man. Another thing we have to say that I love about this movie is the directing. Nia cooked with this movie. First of all, I'm glad to see a Captain Marvel movie, that actually felt like it was actually made by an actual director, rather than, you know, a committee of producers and just thrown out there like the first one. Because you guys know, I mentioned that in my 40-minute video about that one, how there was no soul to that first Captain Marvel movie. There was nothing. It was just like, there was nothing to it. No sauce. This movie, it got the sauce. Nia brought the sauce. And once again, first off, the fight scenes are so much better. They're not edited to shit like the first movie was. They're long takes, wide takes. You can actually see everything. Nice rotating shots as you watch the action unfold. Good editing, nice song choices, man. The fights in this movie were fantastic, especially when they get into fights where they're doing the whole, you know, them switching places because their powers are entangled and everything, man. Those fights always look great. And it was always cool how the ways they were unique, ways they were like with the editing and everything to keep everything going. It looked great, man. The fights were amazing, man. And her overall directing is great. Like the cinematography of the movie is actually really good. I wouldn't say it's the best looking MCU movie out there, man, but I would say this is probably one of the better ones. Better looking ones, man. There were some really nice shots in this movie, man. I have to say, there were some really nice shots in here, man. So yeah, like I said, it was just good to finally see a Captain Marvel movie that was actually made. That actually felt like it was actually made by a director rather than, you know, a committee of producers like the first one. Like the first movie just felt so soulless, man. It felt like there was no heart, no soul, no sauce. I don't know why I keep mentioning sauce. Sauce, you know, in that movie, man, which once again, like I said before, Nia brought the sauce for this film, man. Looked absolutely amazing, man. So that was a nice plus. Another thing, son of a bitch, I keep fumbling. I do one thing and I just can't remember where to go from next. Jesus Christ. Another thing I love about this movie was how they kind of handled Monica and Kamala and not Kamala, Carol's relationship, man. Because obviously, a lot has happened since the first movie, man. With of course her and Monica and Maria, and I liked how they handled that, man. We got some more context behind what happened during WandaVision with with Maria dying, and of course Monica getting blipped. We get more content of that. We get more content of what Carol was doing, kind of while all that was happening, kind of like her final, I guess you could say, moments with Maria, and just kind of what she was up to, why she didn't instantly return back. That whole scene from the first movie, like, I'll be back in a flash and whatnot. So that was nice to see. It was nice to get some extra detailing and some more context to these events that we've already met, that we have seen previously in previous MCU projects. So it was nice to get some more context behind that. The whole like power switching thing, like I mentioned before, I thought was done really well, man. They did a lot of great things with it, man. Used it with the fights, man. I thought it was just a nice plot point, I guess you can say, that kept the movie interesting for me, man. The comedy I thought was really good as well, man. I know some people have come off and on about kind of like hating, like have been criticizing Marvel's comedy recently, some of the more recent projects, which I can understand. But I thought the comedy movie was pretty good. Like there's this one planet, not to get into spoilers because I'm going to do spoilers, and we got a lot to say on that, man, because oh boy, those like the ending of the mid-credit scene, man, yeah, shit was crazy, bro. I was losing my goddamn mind with that one, man. But obviously, we'll talk about that when we get there, man. I thought what they did, like in the way that the people of this planet communicated, I thought was really unique and kind of cool, man. It reminded me of a SpongeBob episode, which, like I said, I'll get more into that in the spoiler discussion of the video, man. The music soundtrack I thought was overall really good. The score I thought was pretty good, man. Music I thought was overall really good in the movie. I also gotta give a massive shout out to the costume design for this movie, man, because one, I loved all the new outfits that we got. Like Monica's Spectrum outfit looks great. I know some people were saying like, oh, like Kamala's new outfit is like over designed. Her outfit from her TV series was better than the one she gets here. Me personally, I think her outfit from here in the Marvels is way better than her original outfit. That's just me personally. I like it a little bit more. Carol's new outfit she gets in Stormy with those really good. Her new outfit she gets around the end of the film with those pretty good as well. But I definitely kind of prefer her original outfit more from the beginning of the movie, man, me personally. But her new one is also really good as well. There's also this one other scene, this dress that Carol wears in the movie, man, that I thought looked amazing. Like, yo, shout out to whoever designed that dress, man. That dress looked amazing. And I think that's about all the pros I can go into without getting into, spoiler territory. I think that's about everything. I might be missing something, I might be forgetting something right now, but that's about everything I can probably think of with, before we get into spoilers. As far as negatives of the movie, first off, the big one is the villain is bland as hell. Like, she is very one note. She is nothing more than a knockoff Ronan the Accuser, from Guardians 1, man, down to the hammer, only missing the Infinity Stone, man. Like, there's really nothing to her, and it's just amplified even more given how we coming that this movie follows up, Guardians 3 and Ant-Man the Wasp Quantum, which, say what you will, call me. I think we can all agree that both those two films had some of the best MCU villains to date. Like, Ant-Man gave us, of course, Kang the Conqueror, Jonathan Majors, man, which, like I mentioned before, I kind of hope everything goes well with the case and everything, and he still plays Kang, man, because he's too damn good. I love Jonathan Majors as an actor, man. So, obviously I want to see more of him, so hopefully all goes well with that, and he sticks around, and we get to see Kang Dynasty and him being Secret Wars and everything, man, because Jonathan Majors is too damn good, man. He's amazing. Of course, the High Evolutionary from Guardian 3, man, both of some of the greatest MCU villains, to date, if not, to date. Definitely a Phase 5, definitely so far, but definitely today, those are some of the best MCU villains, we've gotten to date, man. And so, yeah, with this chick, following them both up, man, it just amplified more just how one note and just not good she is. Like I said, she's a knockoff Ronan the Accuser, man, but just a woman, There's really nothing to this chick, man. I don't know if maybe she's better off in the comics or something, man. I don't know. But, yeah, I ain't really got much to say about her. And, yeah. Another thing I didn't like about the movie is, this was something I was kind of hoping to see, because my glasses get caught up and everything. That I hope that this movie would rectify from the first movie is, I don't like that Monica is referred to as Lieutenant Trouble. Like, where's the real Lieutenant Trouble? I want that little girl, that little blonde girl from the comics, man. She's awesome, bro. To be fair, she doesn't make that many appearances nowadays. Like, I think in Kelly Thompson's run, she made, like, an appearance in, like, what? 2 issues, I think. She wasn't in there on, but every time she was, man, she was always the highlight of the issue, man. Where's that Lieutenant Trouble? I want the real Lieutenant Trouble in these movies, man. When do we get the real Lieutenant Trouble? She's awesome, man. I love that little girl. And I was hoping we would maybe get to see her in this movie, but alas, we do not. Maybe in the third one, we'll finally get to see, Lieutenant Trouble, the real Lieutenant Trouble, but I don't know, man. I wish the Lieutenant Trouble was actually in the movie, man. And yeah, that's about all I got for you guys before we get into spoilers. So as always, give you guys my final verdict before we jump right into spoilers. So overall, my final verdict for this movie is going to be a 9 out of 10, guys. If you were someone that was disappointed with the first movie, man, if you were someone that is a Captain Marvel fan from the comics, and you thought the first movie was a bastardization of Kelly Sue DeConnick's, amazing run, original run, man, I think you will all be pleased with this movie, man, and I think you all real Captain Marvel fans will enjoy this movie and be like, finally, the real Carol Danvers, comic Carol, has finally made her debut in the MCU, man. If you were someone that was disappointed with the first movie, man, as a Captain Marvel fan, I think you guys will really enjoy this movie if you guys not have seen it already. So yeah, definitely check this movie out if you're a Captain Marvel fan. This one I think you guys will enjoy a lot more than the first movie. This actually feels like an actual, proper adaptation of a comic rather than whatever the first movie was, which was more of a bastardization of Kelly Sue DeConnick's original run than anything else. But that's just my personal opinion, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, we'll get into spoilers, of course, on top of the post-credits scene, the mid-credits scene, all that jazz, man. So you guys do not want to get spoiled. Leave now, everyone else. Let's get in. So let's talk about the ending first. Also, I have to say, the actual end credits sequence looked amazing as well. I love the look of that. I love those credits. And there was some other stuff as well. They had Kamala giving her origins a little bit right after, just kind of lead right into the post credits scene from Miss Marvel, where she's like, oh my god, yeah, I'm working with Captain Marvel. Yo, you're a cool kid. That whole sequence, man, was animated as well, man. Looked great, man. I thought that sequence looked great as well. But yeah, the actual end credits sequence looked amazing as well. I don't know who they had to draw that or animate, man, but either way, it looked amazing. I love the way it looked. But anyway, let's get into the ending first, and then we'll talk about the mid-credits because this shit was fucking awesome. So the actual the last bit of the movie, right before we get into the credits, man, is that we actually get to see Kate Bishop. Yes, Kate Bishop makes her return to the MCU, man. It was great to see her, man. You guys know how much I loved Hawkeye, and it was great to see Kate Bishop, to see Haley Steinfeld again. She's great as Kate Bishop. We even get to see the Pizza Dog as well, so it's good to see him. And then I loved how this whole scene was played out, man. Where you have Kamala sitting out in the dark and hiding out in the dark, just waiting for Kate to come in there, and then she's like, "Oh, Kate Bishop, I'm gonna keep my eyes on you." And she pulls out the tablet that had intel on her, but now she has intel on Kate, and basically is trying to recruit her into what seems to be the Young Avengers. So it looks like we're finally building up, and we'll be seeing the Young Avengers pretty soon. Don't know if we're gonna see that through a comic, through a mini-series, or through a Disney Plus show that's gonna be its own movie. But I'm definitely excited for that one. Although it looks like this team's gonna be all women, because the only young characters in the MCU I can think of is Kamala, obviously, Kate, America Chavez, and Riri Williams, and also what was her name? Peyton? Scott Lang's kid from Quantumania. Those are the only young-ish characters that are 1920s, in their early 20s I can think of. I don't Riri Williams as well, from Wakanda Forever. I don't think there's any actual young male heroes I can think of. Unless I'm missing something and I'm forgetting somebody. I don't think there's any male ones so it looks like this might be an all-female team, which I don't mind, man. I like all the characters anyway, so I won't mind, although they're probably oh my god, Young Avengers is so woke. They'll probably have those people going at it for that reason, man. But I'm hyped to see Young Avengers, man. I'm definitely curious to see what this team's gonna look like, man. It'll be nice just to see more of Kate Bishop and Kamala, man. Love those two. And it'll be nice to see what they do with America Chavez, see what they have her doing after Multiverse of Madness. So yeah. Definitely excited that we're finally setting up to the Young Avengers, man. I don't know if we're going to actually see them become a full-fledged team, and then we'll see them in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, the full-fledged. That's going to be something Phase saved for Phase 6 after Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. But either way, we're getting Young Avengers. They're setting up for Young Avengers, and I'm hyped for it. Then we get to the actual mid-credits scene that had me losing my shit. I heard a lot about this mid-credits scene. Everyone was like, oh my god, it's so shocking. Everyone was talking about it. I was like, what the fuck happened? Do we see Kang? Do we start setting up Doctor Doom? Galactus? Silver Surfer? Who? No matter, could not have predicted what it ended up being, man. This is CM Punk's return at Survivor Series, man. just completely out of left field. I did not expect that was going to happen. So the last bit of the movie ends with Monica sacrificing herself to close up this like cross-dimensional portal that opens up from from Dar Bean, or whoever the villain's name is, from clanging the two banglets together, one that she grabbed, of course, the one that Kamala has, banging them together to create like a rift into the multiverse, and then Monica, I'm all over the goddamn place. Monica has to close it out from the inside. Of course, Carol tries to run in there and grab her. Like, this was like one of the scenes where, like I said, the cinematography looked really good, man. They had some really nice shots there of Carol while she's rushing towards to save Kamala, to save Monica. All of the goddamn plays to save Monica from the inside of it, but she's ended up too late, and she's stuck in this dimension, this dimension, this multiversal this universe, whatever you want to call it. So that happens. We end the mid-credit scene starts with her waking up in a bed, and we see that her mom is there alive. Well, I gotta give Marvel credit. They've been fighting a lot for Lashana Lynch, if I'm saying her name right, as Maria Rev. They definitely found enough stuff to keep her busy, man. Like, of course, you had her like one cameo as Captain Marvel in Multiverse of Madness. Of course, the flashback sequences in both this and WandaVision, and now this scene as well. They've been keeping this woman busy. They managed to keep finding work for her. You know what? I respect that. So she wakes up. She's like, "Oh my God, Mom, you're alive." She doesn't, and Maria's like, "Bitch, what the fuck are you?" And then we find out who is there with her. It's Beast from The Last Stand. At least I'm assuming it's the same actor from The Last Stand, judging by his design. It looked a lot like Beast. You want to know what the funny part is, man? As I drop my glasses. You want to know what the funny part is, man? I saw a little bit, like a few days ago, or like maybe even a week ago, while I was scrolling through Twitter, I saw a tweet from MCU Direct where somebody had interviewed the actor that played Beast in The Last Stand. Like, "Hey, do you expect to play Beast? Again in the Marvel Universe?" Because of course, Secret Wars and multiverse and all that jazz. It's like, "Oh, never say never," or I think I will," something along those lines. And I didn't think nothing of it at the time. But now after seeing the movie, I was like, "God damn." I guess that's why he was so confident, man, because we see him there. And you even get to hear the X2 theme as well, man. I was losing my goddamn mind. We were actually in, Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. It looks like we're in the Fox X-Men universe itself. It looks like, because, the basement of it where, Cerebro and all that stuff looks the exact same as it was in the movie. He even mentions Charles. So I don't know if that means we're going to see more Patrick Stewart. Again, hopefully, I'm down. Patrick Stewart is the man to play, Professor X-Men. He is perfect. And of course, James McAvoy was incredible as well for the First Class movie. But Patrick Stewart, man, he's the OG. He is the definitive actor for Professor X. I don't know if that means we're going to see him in the actual main MCU timeline. They're going to have some other actor play him there, and they're just going to keep Patrick Stewart for the Foxmen, movies, man. But it was so good to see him again, man. I heard that X2 thing. I was like, "Oh my God," I was losing my goddamn mind when I saw it, man. And of course, when we actually get to see a full, wide view of like the room she's in there, and we of course see the doors into Cerebro and everything, man. I was like, "Oh my God, it's the Foxmen, expansion and everything, man." So it looks like that Monica is straight up inside the Foxmen universe. That's just what I think it is. I could be wrong. It could be like some adjacent universe but it looks like she's straight up stuck in the Foxmen universe, which I assume will also be where Deadpool 3 is happening. So I don't know if they're going to have some connection with that for Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty, but I'm definitely excited for that one, man. That looks amazing, and I'm super excited what this could lead to. And it's just good to see the X-Men, back in the MCU finally. It's good to see some X-Men finally pop up after so many years of them being absent. Because of course, they didn't have the rights. Fox did. It's just so good to see him again, man. It was cool to see Beast, because we haven't seen Beast in God knows how long, man. It was good to see Beast. It was good to see Beast again, especially what's going on with him in the comics. If you've been reading the comics, oh boy, Beast has been wilding in the comics recently. But yeah, that was fucking awesome to see, man. Now let's actually talk about the dress I was talking about. So they go on this planet where Carol ends up having to marry the prince of the universe because of some like democratic thing or diplomacy. That was the word. It's like some diplomacy legislature type bullshit or something, man. So she had to marry them, and like on this planet, they only speak in song, which I was pretty funny. And Carol, and like I gotta say, Brie Larson, she can sing, which no shit, man, because of course she was actually originally a singer, did a song for Scott Pilgrim, which but I completely forgot about that when I watched the movie. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. Brie Larson is like a legitimate singer, but she sounded amazing. And I gotta say, say, bro, when she actually gets to, like, I guess where the prince is and they have their little dances, they talk before they actually get, serious on why they're there, man. The dress she had wearing was amazing. I think that's probably the closest we'll get to seeing Carol, like, kind of, like, have, like, do that Danny Phantom transformation that she does in the comics sometimes, where she just, like, where her costume just appears out of thin air and just appears on her like Danny Phantom when he suits up, man. That's just probably the closest we'll get to that one, because it kind of just, because this dress kind of appears on her, and it looked amazing. They basically took Carol's, like, normal costume and just made it into a dress. It looked amazing, honestly, man. It looked amazing. So that was nice to see, man. I thought that dress looked amazing. And that whole sequence, man, I just thought was pretty funny with them all having talking in song. Like I said, it reminded me of that scene in that episode of SpongeBob where they get to rock bottom and they only speak like, I can't understand your accent. That whole sequence, man, it reminded me of that one. Only this time they sing instead of doing this. Another sequence that had me cracking up, man. This is why I also said the comedy movie was really well done. Where they were on sword, but while Carol and the team are having their massive fight with the knockoff Ronin, they're like the sword takes the sword spacecraft or whatever base starts taking some mass damage and they're trying to evacuate people, but they end up losing power. Some places get destroyed. They only end up having like one or two escape pods left. So what they do is, and like Goose just gave birth to like a bunch of kittens, man. Don't know how that works, but hey, it is what it is. It's a Marvel U, man. Shit's crazy. Nothing makes sense when you get to the cosmic shit. Anyway, as I was saying, so she ends up giving birth to a bunch of kittens, man, and they use these flurkins to basically eat all the passengers on this spacecraft, so they would weigh a lot less, because it would be a lot easier to fit a bunch of cats into one spacecraft than like over like 300 people. So that's what they do. Like they have like this song choice, man. You can hear the overkill like, "Let the flurkins eat you." It was such a funny scene as people were like running away from the flurkins and like and they're all getting caught up by them. And then you have like Kamala and Monica and Carol all like grabbing like a flurkin and have them eat the people one more. Like the song choice they played this sequence was just perfect, man. That whole sequence had me cracking up to the entire thing, man. That scene had me cracking up. I thought it was fun. That scene was super funny, man. But yeah, that's about everything I can think of for the moment. Like I said, I might be forgetting something, but I think about everything I want to talk about, man. The mid-credits scene had me losing my goddamn mind, man. It's so good if I start seeing the X-Men appear, and this definitely gets me way more excited for Secret Wars, because, like, what's this leading to? We're going to see more of the Foxman characters come in there. We're going to see Scott come back, the actors for them, Jean Grey. We're going to see, Elliot Page come in there back as Kitty. Don't know if that'll work because, of course, since those movies, he's transitioned, so might have to have to recast him for that one. I'm not sure. They might say, like, oh, Kitty Pryde's a dude in this universe. I don't know, man, but yeah, man, I'm hyped. Of course, this is going to tie into Deadpool 3 at all, or we're going to see Monica make a cameo in that movie, and then leads more into Secret Wars, I'm excited. We got the Young Avengers, and they're starting to plant the seeds for the Young Avengers, which I'm really excited for, because I'm curious to see what that team's going to look like, and what's that's going to play out there. Or is that going to be a movie? Is that going to be a TV show? Are they just going to make an appearance in Secret Wars? I'm curious to see what they're going to do that, and I'm curious what the team will look like, because like I said, I'm pretty sure all the younger members of the MCU, that are superheroes, are like all female. At least I can think of off the top of my head. I might be forgetting somebody, but I'm pretty sure it's all women. So, curious to know how that's going to work out, man. But, yeah, I'm excited for the future of the MCU, man. This movie got me excited for the future of the MCU with the Young Avengers and the Foxmen, coming back there, man. It was so cool to see Beast again, man. And just seeing, the basement or whatever of the expansion where Cerebro was. Those doors, bro. Like, it's just so nostalgic seeing those, like, silver doors again. Because, of course, you guys know I grew up with the Foxmen movie, man. My mom was a big fan of them back in the day, man. So it was just nostalgic to see it again, man. I was losing my goddamn mind seeing Beast again. And, yeah. That's about everything I can think about off the top of my head right now, guys. Yeah, as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. If you guys saw the movie, man, your theories and speculation, what we can expect from the Young Avengers and so forth in the future of the MCU. And yeah, man, as always, hope you guys enjoyed the video. You like if you did, subscribe for new. Follow me on social if you feel like it. Links to subscribe below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.